Hi there, my name is Kronenberg and welcome to my channel. This is a film review of Dark Star. It's a sci-fi, came out in 1974. It's, IMDb say it's a PG, but Amazon say it's 16 plus, so that's a bit of a difference. An hour and 23 minutes. Amazon is 4.4 out of 5, IMDb is 6.1 out of 10. I'll read both synopses. So, Amazon is John Carpenter's John Carpenter's satirical look at a crew of bumbling astronauts on a mission to destroy rogue planets. A science fiction classic from the director of Halloween and the writer of Alien. I never knew he wrote Alien. And IMDb is, in the far reaches of space, a small crew, 20 years into their solitary mission, find things beginning to go hilariously wrong. So, the director is John Carpenter, who directed Escape from New York. Producer, well, there's three of them, but with producer on, we have John Carpenter again, who produced The Fog. And music was by John Carpenter, who did the music for Halloween. The cast was, we have Dan O'Bannon, who was Pinback, who was in Delivering Milo. Cal Kunholm, Kunniholm, who was Talby. Who was Boiler, who wasn't in anything else. Dre Pahich, Pahich, who was Talby, who was in the short Bloodbath. Brian Norell, who was Doolittle, who was in Space Ninjas. And Joe Saunders, who was Commander Powell, who was in The World Is Just a B-Movie. It was filmed in Valet Studios in LA, California. And some trivia here. Many of the props used in the production are clearly household items, such as ice cube trays, parts of modelling kits, vacuum cleaner hoses and tin foil. If you take a close look at the jetpacks, they are clearly made of packing polystyrene, which I could guarantee is definitely true. So, if you're watching this with headphones, you want to drop your volume down at the start, because the Branston Picture logo kicks in, and it sounds like 80s Space Invaders, shooting games, that kind of stuff. The dog's killing himself. Oi! Sorry about that. It's nibbling away like a nutter. So it starts with an incoming message that sounds like a Spectrum computer, which I suppose is true because it came out in the 70s. But although Spectrum didn't come... I don't know when Spectrum came out. Got a video that has a nice flicker on it. It's perfect for night watching, especially in the dark. But I actually do like a lot of John Carpenter films because his music is really good. He does all his own music, so that's why I like a lot of his stuff. So Dark Star's a little cramped inside the navigation part, and at least I think that's what it is. There's loads of flashing switches, beeping, and dudes with beards. Pinback is talking to Bomb. I thought it was Bob, but it's not. It's called Bomb, B-O-M-B. But it was a robot. It was actually interesting how he was talking to him. He wasn't just saying something. It was like actually talking, and the Bomb was talking back to him. Jeez, my eyes. So Dark Star went to this hyperdrive or something. From a distance, it was a ship and little lines like a speed line. And then when you actually went inside the spaceship or whatever it was, looking outwards, it was like a strobe effect. My eyeballs nearly gave up. So I think this is Talby, who was floating around at the top. He's like on. I thought he was like a separate part of the ship, but he's not. He's like a little bubble on top of the spaceship. And he says, the planet's exploded. Hello, can you hear me? Hello. And I didn't actually at this point, because I don't read the synopses when I watch these things. And I thought, is that supposed to happen? But apparently, yes, it is. Things are going a little bit tense where they all sit, going after these unstable planets. There's a little humour now and then Boilers pops some music on. It reminds me of the Eagles. That kind of music. Well, kind of more countrified, but that sort of style, you know what I mean? And this is all before the 10-minute credits have kicked in. The credits haven't even kicked in at this point, and then the credits kick in. It's like, my God, there's so much going on. And then I watched them all drum into the music. Shaking the heads was great. That was quite enjoyable. So, computer rooms just warned them of an asteroid belt. I loved it when it said, I wouldn't normally bother you guys, but you have 35 seconds to activate. So their faces are in shock and now they're in full animation. It kind of reminds me of Red Dwarf, if you've ever seen that series. It's a British show in certain parts. But again, strobe lights. Warning for anyone. At this point, my eyeballs were nearly giving up. I had to kind of like squint or just kind of wait for the strobe lights to go because it was just like I could not see a thing. So if you have, issues with strobes, maybe watch it in the day, or not the day, but the light on. Chilling out in the sleeping quarters. They all look bored to death. So it's Talby that's in the spear, like I say. He just sits there all the time. He doesn't eat with his friends or anything, but he sees all sorts outside. I do actually agree. I mean, solitude ain't a good thing in space, though. It might be nice up there, but if you're on your own, literally, might be a bit boring. This is where it starts getting funnier. So, Pinback has to feed an alien. So I was like, I've got to go and feed the alien. It's like, go on then, go on. So he goes to feed the alien. I think Pinback's in it mostly for a lot of the comical stuff. The alien's this large beach ball with these feet on the bottom, and then it escapes. It was just like, it was not like a beach ball that's small. It's a huge one, like up to your knees, that sort of thing. One of those. It's fantastic. It's just, I can't remember if it's got eyes. I think it's got blobs. But then it escaped. And then I like how he trapped him on the other side of the elevator shaft, and then, as in. He trapped Tilby on the other side of the elevator shaft, and then he was tickling him. He was just holding on for dear life. It was just so funny. It's like, what the hell is he tickling him with? These two computers talking to each other is funny as well. It's just quite. It's before AI. Who would have known it? Pinback, right? I can't remember if this is on the trailer, but he's taken ages to get to safety in this lift shaft. Right? So I'm not going to explain how he's in well, you can probably gather how he's in this lift shaft. But he's taken ages to get in, and then he's actually in the actual lift. But yeah, that was quite fun. I was nearly, I loved that bit. So Pinback's telling a story, and the other two have said to each other, "We've heard this 4 years ago," as they just phased him out. He says, "Oh, well, this reminds me of it." And he's just literally just talking, but they're talking to each other. They're not just thinking in their heads. They're like, "Didn't we hear this like 4 years ago?" Yeah, we did. And he's still talking away. And then at the end, he's just like, Then they have the video logs, so it's like watching a Big Brother one. Pinback's slowly getting more and more depressed. You kind of watch his playbacks, and it's just like, it's just not having a fun time. So they just located a planet, and Boiler says, "Here she is. Definite 99% probability that the planet will deviate from her normal orbit in another 12,000 rotations. It'll spiral in towards the sun and then Pinback says, eventual supernova." And then Doolittle says, "Sounds good, let's vaporize it." It's just like, I was like, okay, fine. Imagine that was Earth. I mean, if it's going to go into the sun, does it really matter? But there you go. So Powell doesn't appear in it very much, Commander Powell. And there's a reason why. Anyway, Doolittle's talking to Powell, who's not exactly in the best place, I must admit. And there's an emergency and everyone's panicking, but Doolittle doesn't really care. It's just so funny. They're like, "We really need help. What do we do?" "Hello there, Doolittle. It's so nice to hear from you." It's like, help. Well, what an ending. It wasn't what I was expecting at all. The film was okay. It was plenty of funny moments towards the end. There's moments before it as well, but it was definitely with with Pinback and stuff. And also when they were talking to the commander and the bomb. That was quite funny. I like that. I'm actually going to give it a 6. I enjoyed it. It was a good film. Anyway, hopefully if you enjoyed watching and listening to this film review of Dark Star, please subscribe to my channel. Got plenty of the film reviews, quite a few sci-fis, I think. So you might find something, that you might enjoy. Okay, thank you and goodbye.